are... Oh! Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna... Wait a second. Okay, wait a second. You're going anywhere, you're a camera, but you know, wait a second. I present to you a lot of books. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. These are... Oh! These are the books that I'm gonna read this summer, believe it or not. And I don't think I'm necessarily gonna finish all these. Yeah. I think it's a little too much, actually. I think it might be a little too much. But oh well, you know, we gotta be optimistic here. Okay, I'm gonna give them to you in the order in which I want to read them. Okay, I'm gonna divide the TBR in 3. So the first part of the TBR is the books that I am gonna read, no matter what, this summer. The second part is the books that I really hope that I will read. It doesn't matter if I don't finish them, but I want to read them, at least a little part of them. And the last part is books that I'm gonna read if I read all of the other ones and I still have time to read some books. And I think the probability of me doing that is low. But, you know, we gotta keep them options open. So, the first part of the TBR is books that I'm gonna read no matter what. I think these books are the top ones on my TBR, and I really think that I'm gonna love these books because these books have been recommended by some of my favorite YouTubers, some of the YouTubers that I always go to for book recommendations. And so I'm gonna start with Hot Milk. I recently saw Noah Maria, if you know her. She's one of my favorite YouTubers and she just read this. I actually had this before she got it, but I haven't been reading it. It's just been laying on my TBR for a long while, but when she read it and enjoyed it, it definitely appealed more to me as a read because I always trust her book recommendations. So now this is on the top part of my TBR, definitely. And it's so, I mean, summery vibe. And then we have All About Love by Bell Hooks. This is a book that I got recommended by, or she didn't recommend it to me personally, but she recommended it on her YouTube videos, Ava Meloche. And I love Ava Meloche. She's one of my favorite, I think she might be my favorite YouTuber. But she recommended this book, and the way she talked about it was so... When she talked about it, it just resonated so much with me, and I think, based on what she told, I'm gonna love this book, and it's gonna be such an eye-opener for me. So I'm so excited. I got it for my birthday, and I will definitely read this for this summer. Then I have Outline by Rachel Cusk. I've actually started to read this, but I actually started, and then I understood that it is about a girl going to Greece and meeting a man on the airplane and talking a lot to him and blah blah blah. So I read this, I think it was winter or something, and I quickly understood that I have to wait to read this until I'm going to a vacation. And it just so happens that I'm gonna go to Greece this summer. So this is the perfect book to read on my way to Greece because it starts with her taking the airplane and sitting on the airplane talking to this stranger. And what better way to start this book in literally the airplane on my way to Greece. It's a book to read this summer. So the perks of being a wallflower has to be in group 1. I have seen the movie. By that time I didn't know that it was based off of a book, or that it was a book as well. But Noah Maria recommended this. She loves it, so I think that I will love it as well. But we'll have to see. And also Sunburn, I have no idea what it is about. Again, I don't read the back of the book covers and I don't read about the book because I like to be surprised. I like to not know what's gonna happen next and just follow the story and make up my own opinions on what's gonna happen and, you know, feel all the feelings. I love that. So I don't know what this is about, but I feel like it's gonna be such a perfect read for summer because it's called Sunburn. So it should be, I guess. And then, yeah, this one I have to read this summer, and I'm gonna do it. I have read it before in Norwegian. This book is in Spanish, but it's from an Italian author. So I feel like reading it in Spanish is almost like reading it in Italian, and I love to read the mother tongue of authors. So this is almost the same. And then hopefully one day when I learn Italian, I will be able to read it in Italian as well. This is my favorite book, I think, of all time. It's My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, La Amiga Estupenda. And I'm gonna read this on my vacation, because this is also a book which it's giving vacation vibes, it's giving sun, it's giving warmth. Oh, I love this book. And I actually have the other, like this is a, I don't know what it's called, quartet or not a trilogy, because it's not 3 books, it's 4 books. I don't know. But there are 4 books in this My Brilliant Friend series. You have the number 1, and then you have, which is number 2? This one, Un mal nombre. Also read this in Norwegian, but I will for sure read it in Spanish as well this summer. No, I'm gonna read this summer. I don't think I will be able to finish this and read these as well, but maybe next summer and then the summer after. Un mal nombre and Las deudas del cuerpo. Most likely books that I will for sure be reading this summer. But then I think we have to move on to... No, I will be able to read more. Wait. Okay. So, what do I want to prioritize? That's the question. I think for me, this book is gonna be very important to read. It's The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion, and it's short, so I think I will be able to read this as well. So this is also on my top TBR. And then we have to move on to the books that I will read if I have the time. Swimming in the Dark by Tomasz, Jedrowski. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this one, Swimming in the Dark by Tomasz, I have read it. As you can see, it's really full of used marks. It's well read. No, but this is, I think, this might be one of the most beautiful books that I have read in my entire life. It's definitely on my top 6 of favorite books in the world. I think this, with Elena Ferrante and A Little Life. And I kind of have forgotten a lot about it, so I want to read this again this summer, and it's such a perfect summer read as well. This is definitely a book that I will read again. It's about first love and finding yourself and identity and history and everything. So yeah, that's in group numero 2. And then I want to read All Fours by Miranda July. I have no idea what this is about, but it was recommended by one of my favorite booktubers. I think maybe it was what is it called? Grandpa's Book Club, which is also one of my favorite booktubers. I think he recommended this, but I'm not entirely sure. But someone has recommended this, and I bought it. So it better be good. No, I don't know, but I'm gonna read this. And then On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. This is a book that I want to read. Hope that I will be able to read this summer. And then Love Me Tender. I think I'm gonna read. This is in group numero 2, I think. Love Me Tender by Constance Debré. Constance Debré. By Constance or Constance? I don't know. But this Love Me Tender, this is for sure recommended by Grandpa's Book Club. So I think this will be a very good read. and it's in group numero dos, but I think I will be able to read it because it's so short as well. Then we have, I think, okay, this is the group, these books are in group 3. The books that I will read if I have the time and if I've read all of the other ones. I don't think this will be possible, but we will have them there just in case. So the first is The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir. This book, I really want to read it, but I cannot prioritize it right now. Or especially not in the summer, because I have to read, or I want to read more of the summer-ish books. But I really want to read this as well. But I have to keep it in group 3. I don't want to intentionally make my TBR unreachable. Then I have also Radclyffe Hall, The Well of Loneliness. This is also in group 3. If I have the time, I will also read this one. We have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is also in group 3. So that was my TBR for this summer, and I hope you got some good recommendations. As I've told, or as I've said, a lot of these books are books that I got recommended from other YouTubers, which I highly trust. And the YouTubers that recommends books that I really enjoy are Eva Maloche, Moya, Noa Maria, Grandpa's Book Club, and Pages de Maria. Pages de Maria. Not all of them are booktubers, but they talk about books and the books they have been recommending before. I always end up loving the books or liking them. So I think this is a very good TBR, and you hopefully got some inspiration yourself to make yourself a TBR. If you have some recommendations, please put them down below, and we can inspire each other. That would be so nice. Or if you've read any of these books, or if you have other opinions about them, please feel free to make a comment about it, and then we can discuss. Okay, I have to go study now because I have an exam in a week. Yeah. Okay, bye bye.